Deception appears as a dead beta tester of Little Big Planet. It is unknown how he died, or which LBP he actually died in, but there seems to be a connection between him and Sackboy.exe. In the Deception level, you're presented with 10 houses, numbered from 0 to 9, where you must explore each house in a specific order to advance. Only odd numbers are available to you at the start once Sackboy.exe proclaims, "The odds are against you." House 3 and 5 appear empty, but when you restart the level, you start in a secret room of House 3, where Sackboy.exe states the word "clueless," since you most likely have no clue what's going on. This house is labeled 3 to represent the 3 entities that lurk within the level: Deception, Sackboy.exe, and Sackboy Unzipped. In House 5, a few things actually happen. The 5 represents the 5 seconds you must wait in the dark to advance in the secret alternative ending. After exploring House 1, Sackboy.unzipped will drag you back to 5 for revisiting and pull a switch that appears. The house also becomes covered in 6s, indicating that you must enter House 6 next. House 9 is the next available house after 5, where a closed level post sits in the house. Once you pass it, Deception reveals himself from the shadows and jerks you into the radioactive area depicted as the beta he originated from. The 9 represents a sort of ending and beginning in which the level will not allow anyone an opportunity to join, and now things are starting to take a turn for the worst. It's much like how the number 9 is the last number before cycling back to 0. The first beta zone is a desolate alleyway filled with chain-linked fences and radiation signs, signaling a possible dangerous bug in the version of Little Big Planet. This bit was highly inspired by a scene in the movie Silent Hill, where a man wearing a gas mask with no arms or legs is found pinned to the chain-link fence, still breathing. Alternatively, once you grab the ball in House 5, the path to the left of the first beta zone opens and allows you to exit the alleyway. Upon exiting the alleyway, you step into some outside area in which appears to be some kind of quarantine zone with barbed wires all around. Your only option is to cross a bridge over poisonous gas until you are pulled back into the cardboard neighborhood. From here you enter House 7, which appears to contain a box of matches with a few stray matchsticks on the ground. Nothing too noteworthy here with the exception of the house later exploding into an inferno, most likely as a result of a match being lit later on. In House 1, a red balloon gently floats in place. When you return later on, it appears the balloon had popped into a bloody mess and the words "Nothing is 0" is etched on the wall. The 1 represents Sackboy.exe as a single Sackboy, the origin in which all Sackboys and girls are a copy from, and without him, no other Sack person would exist. By the way, this is all just fan fiction I made up for entertainment purposes, so if you're gonna try and argue with me and tell me I'm making all this shit up for attention, I'm just gonna laugh and totally ignore you. On to House 6. You hear an alarm going off in the distance. The house gets darker and darker until you're sitting there in total darkness, waiting for something sinister to happen. Sackboy.unzipped suddenly ambushes you and pulls you into the second beta zone, which appears to be a tunnel similar to what a mining shaft would look like. Obviously, House 6, widely believed to be the devil's number, is interpreted as evil and the reason you encounter Sackboy.unzipped here for the second time. The first time he lashes out at you near House 7 after doing some backtracking and pulls you to the secret second zone if you had previously entered the first one. Here, you reach the end of the bridge and enter some dark and abandoned facility where power seems to be running low and malfunctioning. This is portrayed as a sort of containment area for game-breaking bug glitches. You end up falling through a gaping hole on the ground and fall back into the cardboard neighborhood. This is where you enter House 8 and see the number 4 on the wall, with 4 Sackboys who appear to be in some sort of sleeping state. In the secret ending, one of them is actually awake and looking at you, indicating that his presence harbors a secret in the House 4. When you walk into House 4, you discover that the house is entirely covered in spikes, with a black balloon floating towards them. Sackboy.exe's face is on the balloon, with the word "pop" on it, poking fun at the ability to pop yourself. In the secret ending, the spikes to the right are actually non-lethal, and if you walk all the way to the right, you actually press a button and get transported to House 2, which appears to be in ruins. I'll get to that in just a moment. The balloon hinted you to travel back to House 1, where you are then hinted to travel to House 0 and enter the final beta zone. The term 0 is nothing relates to dividing by 0, which is said to be impossible to do, like an apocalyptic wormhole suddenly opening up in the space-time continuum. Pretty much divide by 0 meme. You enter the final beta zone to face Deception, where he uses an invisible force to drag you into him, but you are saved by Sackboy.unzipped, who reaches into beta and pulls you out in the nick of time. The big guy just can't keep his hands off of you. You then see what appears to be Sackboy.exe talking to Deception, saying that he's glad Deception wants to kill you, but Sackboy.exe is the one that calls the shots. The level then ends and leave you to wonder what's the connection between these two, but I'll discuss that in another video. Back to the secret ending version. You get into House 2, which appears to be in ruins from within, grab the ball to the right, and get transported to the final secret beta zone. The 2 represents the 2 sides of every Sack person, the inside and outside of your zipper. No one knows what's inside Sackboy's zipper, but it is believed to be the ultimate undoing if he was unzipped. This is why the house is in ruins from inside, but perfectly fine on the outside. In the final secret beta zone, you appear to have fallen out of the previous abandoned beta facility and are now in a junkyard where you find a dead beta bug blaster hanging over an open grave. Here you must sticker the sticker triggers in the order of the houses from left to right in order to put Deception to rest and finish the level with a very hellish sticker of him for you to collect. So, the junkyard is actually featured a few times in the Sackboy.exe series, representing a barren, desolate, dead zone where waste and unused logic and objects must remain for the rest of time. The reason you find Deception here is very strange, considering he is a beta member and should have moved on to the finished version of the game, but he never did. Instead, he hangs a waste here to suffer half dead, half alive over his own open grave. This evil deed could have only been the work of Sackboy.exe, and you'll find out how and why in the next video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of my latest Sackboy.exe level. There will be more levels, characters, creations, and videos to come. Watch out for Sackboy.exe when on Little Big Planet, and have a nice day.